Welcome to Hump Day with Charming Charles and myself, your host, HRT. Rich Charles. How you feeling down there in South Florida with those flags flying high over your head? You got the state of Florida flag. You got the United States flag, and what? Oh, that's the First Bet flag. I see. All right.
Yeah, First Bet. Mm-hmm. We're at the Gulfstream Park here.
Yeah, you're right at the finish line there, brother. They're about to come home for Charles. Hopefully some of your picks come home today. Both of us need our picks to come home today because we got I know we were both talking about the beginning, some old man stories. Charles has got discomfort and pain here and there. I got discomfort and pain here and there, but I know somebody else is sore, and that's Terry. His back is sore from carrying us the last couple of days. He's been on fire. Back-to-back days with pick 5. So Charles, man, maybe we can do a little of the heavy lifting today, so we can be even sorer.
Yeah, so that's why I'm going for the fences. I'm going after Terry. I can't let him outdo me.
Oh, well. So you must be used to it by now, though.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean, one of you guys got to be good looking. The other's got to be good at picking things, right? So unfortunately for you, both of those things go in Terry's column.
Wow. There it is.
I'm hurting you more than anything.
Yeah, you are.
They say you only joke with the ones you love, and if you notice, I never joke with Terry.
Oh, okay, great.
All right. So anyway, last night, great show last night. I don't know if you had a chance to tune in or not. I know you did because I saw your comments in there, and you also texted me, and you mentioned that this show you mentioned Pete is great, and then later on, we were joined by Pablo Morales, who was telling the story about his finger, which was a crazy story about how he put his hand up to the rail next to him. I guess it's it was his right hand. Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And how the horse next to it bit it and then almost ripped it right off, man. And then he had to go to the hospital, and he's telling the story about how the bone was sticking through the glove and and then Jamie was about ready to throw up. And that was a heck of a show last night, I felt like.
I thought it was one of our best shows. I mean, I love his energy that he brings. And you could just tell, and then of course you get Pablo up there. That was like a dynamic duel.
You know, what's interesting here is you got the two people with the great hair on the bottom, Pablo and Jamie, and then Swiss Army Sean and announcer Pete on top. So there's great hair on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. Pete looks good, I think, like that. And my man Sean's got the cap on. New Horse Racing Today cap. You can get one as well by going to horseracingtoday.net. Clicking on the HRT gear helps support the show. There's also sometimes at the bottom of the video in the description as well. That was last night. Tonight, we got another guest coming on, another young jockey that people are going to want to know, and that's Manny Jimenez. In fact, when we were down in Tampa Bay, we got the photo in the winner's circle with Mr. Manny when he won. I think it was on the 10 horse. And that was a great ride by him. He's got plenty more to come. And you can get introduced to Mr. Jimenez because you're going to see him riding in some bigger races coming forward. Young man's got it going on. If you have any questions for him, like Pete said, ours is a business. Are we in this business or are we on the outside of this? I don't know, Charles, but horse racing is a business where you actually have access to the people. Try to tune in to ask LeBron James a question and see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
And the best way to make sure you don't miss any of our fantastic shows is to hit the subscribe button while you're here on YouTube. We're trying to get to 10,000. We cannot do that without your help. So if you haven't done so, please subscribe. If you haven't done so, please tell your friends about us in your Facebook pages, retweet our tweets. Help us out. Help us get to that number 10,000 by the end of 2023. It'll help us generate more revenue. The more revenue we can create, then the more tools we can bring to help handicap like we've done so far with the Comfort Zone, which has been doing pretty well. I found a couple of interesting tricks with the Comfort Zone. I don't know if you watched that yesterday, but I noticed horses that have a high comfort zone and an underlay or overlay, I guess to how you look at it. They have done very good at finding the winner's circle, Charles.
Yep, they sure have.
All right, so you ready to do the 8-race card at Gulfstream today?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Here's our full card pick, so take a snapshot of that. But we're going to start with race number 1. It is nice down there. Oh, before we get started today, Charles, I forgot to tell you about this. I did it at the last minute, but big pick six carryover today at Gulfstream Park. You can see over here, $669,349. So hopefully you get a chance to check that out. Hopefully our picks will help you find that $669,000 and put all of it in your bank account. Charles, what do you think?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to deposit now. I'm ready.
Look, while we're here today, Tampa Bay down. So all Florida Day today at horse racing today is the free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description down there below. You can get that in race number one. Real doozy, should be a real doozy as a best bet. Again, a link down below in the description. All right, off to race number one, since we got all that out of the way at Gulfstream Park. We're talking about a 6 furlong race claiming $6,250. Non-winners of 2 lifetime, a nice purse there of $19,000. The profile of a 6 furlong winner on that dirt course. 36% of the time, the horses go wire to wire, so early speed is definitely in play. There is a small, very small inside 3 bias, Charles. Not much of a deal maker or deal breaker, no matter where you're at post position wise. And again, early speed does have a way of finding the winner's circle here. So there's a few horses that have a chance to go wire to wire.
Yeah, it looks like that 3 has a 32% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. And then you got the 5 and the 7 that might have a say in that. They both got a little over 21% each. They have that chance to have the lead at the quarter pole. So I think this is going to be pretty contested up front overall. So then you look at the simulation odds. We have the 2 horse. Look at that, slightly over 5-1, and the morning line is 15-1. That's a nice overlay. And then that 5 horse, just slightly over even money, and you got 5-1 morning line. For me, I love that. I want that to stay right there, and that's about it. Yeah, the 7's a slight overlay with 3-1 to 4-1, which is not bad, but we'll take it.
We had Julie, the other host, with Sean on Horse Center. She would be in the good hair column as well. She would be up there with Pete and Sean. And she says, give us a hot tip today. Well, in the next race, I don't think the 2 horses is going to lose, but you'll probably get 1-9 on it. And then as far as Michael Herbert, how you doing today? Good to join us. If anybody has any hot tips that we can share with Julie or with the rest of the community, please let us know in the comments section. If you have any questions, let us know. You mentioned, Charles, that 5 horse. So the C-Zone, we've done our own homework here, created our own score. These are horses we've looked back to see which races they've performed best in and to see if the pace set up today will be favorable for them. The higher the number, the better. The more favorable the race will be based upon their best performances. And that 5 horse, as you mentioned, Charles, does have a high comfort zone. Also has a overlay compared to the morning line odds, just like we talked about. So that 5 horse could definitely be one that you're going to have to contend with there. We do 1,000 simulations using speed figures to generate our odds, 1,000 simulations using the early pace to calculate out the C-Zone and who will be where at the quarter-mile marker. It's a lot of work in there, folks. It doesn't look like it in a graph, but it's definitely a lot of work in there. We also put together, construct what the race might look like on paper. The 3 and the 5 are your speed horses, but the 7 and the 8 could join them. That's why they're boxed off. Got 3 that'll be in the front, 3 that'll be in the 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, and 3 in the back. Usually when I see this sort of setup, Charles, it does favor the horses up front. The track bias favors the horses up front. Who do you have up front? I cannot hear you for some reason, Charles. I like to bet y'all standouts. All right, good, Michael. Hopefully that 5 horse is a standout there in terms of what Charles is saying. Charles is muted, so he's saying the most brilliant things he's ever said, which would be the first brilliant thing he ever said. And he can't hear me. Yeah. All right, so I'll go ahead with my picks while Charles figures out what's going on with his technology. I'm going to start. Are you there, Charles?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead with your picks now.
Okay. Well, I'm going with the speed up front. I like that 5 horse. This horse drops in class today. Has speed. Definitely likes this distance, as our chart shows there. The comfort zone at 76%. So I think this horse is going to be very tough to beat here. The 3 horse, another speed horse, is going to be up there in front or close to it at least. Drops in class today. Has that tactical speed. It shows that it has a 32% chance.
but you got Irad on this. So those two horses, I think, are the two horses to catch. The 6 horse is my third choice in this race. This horse ran second last time out, cuts back in distance. This one will be closing. And then my price horse here is the 7. The horse ran third last time out, cuts back in distance, definitely has some of that speed to keep up with them. And so it puts him right there at the catbird seat overall, I think. So it could be a little dangerous. And I'm starting to pick 5 here. I'm swinging for the fence. Terry, I'm coming for you. I'm going to show you how it's really done. I'm taking my top 4 picks in this race so I could get that going, started. And then my second leg, I'm singling out a horse.
That's going to be 1 to 5, maybe
Yes,
1 to 9 even.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you can't dodge a winner, right? That's what I say.
That's what I say. There's no value in losing bets.
That's right. And then I'll go to my top 3 picks in the third leg, top 3 picks in the fourth leg, and then I'm going to round it off with my top 2 picks in the final 5th leg. And so that I believe that's going to be like a $36 ticket.
So Charles putting 36% of his $100 budget, because we come on the show with $100 to work with, as if though we're going to the track on a Benjamin Franklin budget. I am going to start off with the 6 horse with my Benjamin Franklin budget, and that is Major King. This guy ran on dirt for the first time last time out and ended up running the top last race speed figure for this group. So maybe they've been running him on the wrong surface all this time. Let's see if he can indeed improve on that in the second start on dirt. Rare Jewel, that 7 horse, is my second choice. This time, the last time out, this horse had the lead at 6 furlongs, gave it up, cutting back, and was better with its internal race numbers from the beginning to the middle to the end last time out. I'd like to see that. That's a horse that's getting better. Cupid's Dart, that 3 horse, cutting its class in half, Charles, from last time out. Had a really fast workout on March of 25th, 3 furlongs in 35.4 seconds. That's almost as fast as you, Charles.
Almost.
in the 3-yard dash. And then I found it. The 5 horse is my 4th choice in here. But I do think that this race is pretty much open. This horse ran a Z pattern last time out, which is the early pace number, say 80, mid pace number 73, and then gets a second win in the late pace and runs in the 80s again. Showed more enthusiasm late in its last race, which tells me the horse is getting more fit and expected to be even fitter in the third start off the layoff. Charles's favorite handicapping angle, and somehow it ended up being his, it was his first pick. I'm going to just do a trifecta here, the 3, 6, 7 with the 6, 7 with the 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8, because I do feel like that this race is a little bit more open. I do agree with your strategy going into that pick 5, though, because this next race, I do think that the 2 horse is going to be one that's going to be, I know the morning line has this horse at 6 to 5, something like that. Yeah. Bobby's Candy.
Well, yeah.
It ain't going to be 6 to 5, folks.
I'd be thrilled if it ended up being 6 to 5.
I think you'd be thrilled if it was 1 to 1, actually. This is a maiden claiming, well, here's the one thing. It is maiden claiming 12.5, which is the lowest about as you go down there. Mm-hmm. It is $21,000 purse. So maybe there's a chance that can get upset. A mile on the dirt course favors early speed. Almost 40% of the horses go wire to wire. That's kind of a big number right there. If you have post 1 through 7, the post positions play fair. You get a little bit of a bonus if you're 8 and out. So 40% of the horses go wire to wire, Charles. And it looks like the 1 and the 2 have the best chance to make that happen.
Yeah. The 1 is basically 55% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. And I really think this is horse. It's just when the gates open, it's goodbye. I think it's wire to wire for this horse. But the 1 is on charts saying that it does have a chance to have that lead at the quarter pole, a 34% chance. So let's don't dismiss that horse too much. But look at the odds, like you just finished saying. It's 6 to 5 right now, morning line, and basically it's a good bet if it's 1 to 5, which I would not bet it. But I'm just saying.
So yeah, Michael's asking about that. What about 4 to 5? Is there value at 4 to 5?
When
we do the simulation, according to the 1,000 simulations, this is a 1 to 10 is what that's basically pouring out to be. So essentially, as long as the horse, they're not making you pay, it's gonna be a value. It does. It is not perfect, unfortunately. But if you got 4 to 5, Mike, on that horse, I would still think that would be good value.
And that's what I mean. I'm kind of hoping for, I should say. That's why I played the exacta straight on top. Kind of hoping for a 4 to 5, so that makes that exacta a little bit better, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it's the only horse in the entire field that gets an underlay or overlay,
overlay,
even at the 6 to 5 morning line odds. So it should get a comfortable trip, one of the better trips, at least according to our season. As far as the way that the race shapes up, there aren't really any horses that have a lot of speed. The 2 horse does have a tactical advantage over the rest of the field because these 3 horses have only shown that when they run their best, it is when they're pressuring, so they're not on the lead. These horses have been, when they run their best, closers. So this one's a PC horse. It's shown that it can have a little bit of versatility in its game. So if they go too slow, it'll go forward. If they go too fast, it'll be patient. But when you put together the early speed and the late speed, has a 19-point advantage over the next closest horse. That's about as big as it gets. Has a 15-point advantage over every other horse in here in the late pace, according to my recency bias numbers. The 2 horses that probably scare me the most are the 8 and the 6, because those 2 getting down arrows, they're dropping in class. Maybe that can be a difference maker, Charles. I don't think so. You don't think so. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, basically, I really don't need to say much about the 2 because we've done nothing but talk about the 2. So I guess let's talk about the real race, the race for second. The 8 horse is my second pick here. Drops today. He adds the blinkers back on dirt today. This horse has got definitely a lot of pluses for this horse to finish very well today. Like you said, he's even got the down arrow, which means dropping class. And then my third choice here is the 1. The 1 has some speed, especially if you toss out that last race. He definitely has the speed to be close enough to pick up a piece of the pie. This horse is the 3rd start after a layoff, gets IRAD, which is a plus. And then my price horse in this race would be the 4. This horse drops in class. But the thing is with this horse, he's been running even the last 3 races. So he needs to wake up a little bit better, and he goes back on dirt. So that might be the trick to wake him up a little bit for some exotics.
I think the 2 horse is the one to beat here too. Unfortunately, I wish there was something in here that would give me some hope to beat it. But although a lot of times in these maiden claiming races, they don't always work out that way. It does have that 19-point early pace, late pace combination advantage over the field. When it gets to 10, those horses are very difficult to contend with. Now it's at almost 20. It's a big number. I'm going to go with a straight up flyer. I even put in my notes, what the hell. The jockey on this one is 0 for 24, so he's got to win sometime. But trainer Rohan Christian, he wins at 23% when he flips his horses from turf to dirt. And when you look through the trainer numbers in the entire race, that's the best number in the race. So that horse is 20 to 1. Simulator says he can go up to 40 to 1, tied for the second longest shot on the board. Let's give it a rip, see what happens with that high 23%. And it wasn't like on, like 10 races. It was like a 60 race data set. So clearly the best angle in the field. Shatin is a consistent performer. That 8 horse is dropping in class, as we mentioned, making its 3rd start off the layoff. If I haven't mentioned that already, Charles, what is that?
Well, it's when they've had a layoff of basically 46 plus more days.
No, 3rd race after the layoff.
Oh, the 3rd race after the layoff. Well, it's his 3rd start after the layoff that was originally at least 46 days off. So it's my favorite angle. It's because usually that's when they're starting to peak after their layoff itself. Some come right out and win right away after a layoff, but usually the 3rd one is my favorite angle, and that's why.
I don't really look at any particular as my favorite angle. What I like to look back and see is how the horses run in other previous race cycles. So if they come off the bench, off the sidelines and rest, and they run well, 2nd after layoff, 3rd after layoff, so forth. Well, Shatin, I went back and very limited resume, but the 3rd off the bench was the best of the 3 race cycle, the only other time that that's happened. So I do expect improvement today from the horse named after the track in Hong Kong. Number 1, Super Gremlin. That is my partner over there. It's the most lightly raced horse in the field. And in these maiden claiming types, when a lot of horses had a lot of chances to win and they haven't, and this one I think has raced 3 times so far, you're not really sure if it's shown everything that it has. So So let's see if today it unveils some cards we haven't seen so far. I'm going to do a pick 4, Charles. I'm going to single up that 2. I probably should have added a 3 in there just in case it goes off at a bomb price. 2 with the 2-3-7, with the 3-5-6, with the 3-4-5-6 in race number 5. Yeah, let's see. There's no sound. For who? For any of us? You can't hear either one of us? Tony? Is everybody else having a no sound issue? If you can hear us, please let us know in the comments. I can hear Charles.
I can hear Rich.
You can hear me. So hopefully that means everybody else can hear us. Please let us know in the comments if you can hear us. Race number 3. Can you hear us now, Tony, or not? I hear you. So John says he can hear us. Okay. Thank you, John. So I would imagine, Tony, that might be something. Sound is good. I hear both of you. Fantastic. Thank you. So I would imagine, Tony, maybe headphones or however you're listening, maybe turn it back on and off and see if that fixes that. But I do appreciate everybody's feedback. Race 3 is next. Let's see, how far are we off to race number 1, Charles? Race number 1, it says 0 minutes to post. So let's go ahead and take a look at what happens in race number 1. But 0 minutes to post down there can be 10 minutes. But they are actually going into the gate. So back to race number 1, where Charles likes the 5, which is now 6-1. So hopefully that's a nice hit for you, Charles. I got the 6, which is 2-1. We both like the same 4 horses, just in a little bit different order. Charles has all 4 of his in his start to pick 5. I agree with that philosophy. I did feel like that this race is pretty much wide open. There's a few horses left to go in, the 3 horse, and then I think you got the 7, and then the 8, and you're done, because I don't see the 8 in the gates either. No, there's the 4 horse. He's coming along, so there's one more to go. And then they'll be off, and the dirt will be flying when the gates go open. And hopefully nobody's putting their fingers in the other horse's gate.
Yeah.
And the gates are open and the dirt is flying. And as they come out, it certainly looks like a whole lot of these horses want the lead. But as we predicted, it would be a contentious lead. The 5 horse has gotten to the lead by a little bit over the 8 horse, Action Dream. But you got about 3 of them, 4 of them all within a length of each other as they go through the opening quarter. It looks to me like it'll probably be around 22.5, somewhere in that range. The 5 horse leads on the rail with the 8 horse. You got the 7 looming up on the outside. The 2 is in the on the rail down below. 22-8, so decent call on that. Looks like the jockey on the 6 horse right there, Major King, is asking for his horse to get involved now. That is in the 6 horse. Who's riding the 6 horse, Charles, there? That is Miguel Angel Velasquez.
Velasquez, yeah.
Yes, the 5 horse has relinquished the lead. The 8 has moved up to the outside, but you got 2 horses roaming up on the outside here. Going to make a big run down the lane. The question is, can they get by that 8 horse? It's going to be tough. The 4 horse is moving really well at the end here. It looks to me like it's going to be the 4 horse that might get this race, Charles, one that neither one of us had, which was the morning line favorite. It's going to go 4, I think 6, 7. I'm not 1,000% sure. Neither one of us had that 4, and he was the 3-1 morning line favorite, Charles. What did we miss there?
I don't know, but yeah, he didn't even make my top 4 picks, so there you go.
Let's go back and look at race number 1. What did we miss on that 4 horse? Hunter. Well, Paco Lopez is on there, right? First start off a layoff. So he hadn't run in a while. He hadn't run since July. Workouts here were okay. 48, third fastest. Pretty good right there, February 7th. He had been on a pretty regular routine schedule. I think the reason I might have passed on that horse is because here on that first time after a layoff, 50 lengths off last time, although the works were good, my feeling was probably that the horse is going to have to show me one before I go ahead and get it. And then you got up here, David Brady, the trainer, a 5% trainer. Yeah, just one of those cases where the horse just beat you in horse racing, Charles.
That's it. That's
the
horse has some talent, but like you said, there were some things telling us we wouldn't want to see another one. So
yeah, John said the layoff was my main reason for skipping over to you. And we talked about that before, a little bit about the cycles. And that's one of the things I pay attention to all the time when a horse is coming off of a layoff. How did it run? So you can look at the debut, which is its longest layoff. Then you can look at any other first-time starts. I also like to look at the workouts too. Maybe the 48-4 was a hint that the horse was doing pretty well, Charles, but 50 lengths off last time, broke its maiden at maiden claiming 12,000 when other horses broke their maidens at much higher. I guess really the only reason would be Paco Lopez was on that one.
Yeah, that would probably have been right now. Yeah, it would have been the only reason. But, I can't go back and be a Monday morning type of quarterback type of thing. So, yeah,
I like to look back and see what I missed because I think that makes you a better handicapper.
I'm not making any excuses why, I think that would have been the only reason why I would have chose it at this point today.
All right, well, let's see if we can clean up the thing here from Charles going forward in terms of our picks. We're going to do race 3 now, right? Did we do race 3? We didn't do race 3.
No, we have not.
This was 1 mile and 70 yards. Third off a layoff might be your favorite handicapping angle, Charles, but it's on your favorite track that's synthetic Tapeta, claiming 12,500, non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse is 24 grand. The style of running that usually wins at 1 mile and 70 yards. Well, you don't have to be fast. You can be slow because 50-50 between front runners, horses that come from off the pace. And then as far as the post positions, they're fair too. And only 10% of the horses go wire to wire. So you probably don't want the leader here, Charles. Only has a 10% chance to win. So 90% chance it won't. I personally prefer to play the 90% than the 10%. But if you're going to play the 10%, looks like Flourishing will be the one that has the best chance to go 10%, although all of them have some chance to be on the lead.
Yeah, he's got basically that 49% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. It's going to be tough right there. I definitely think that horse is going to be out in front. But, you got the 2 and the 3 that might push it along. So both at 12 and 14% accordingly. And then when you got the simulation odds, you have, what do we have here? Do we have anybody? 5, the 5 itself again. Look at that, just slightly under 3-1. And look at the morning line, 12-1. So that is a big overlay. And then the 7, slightly under 2-1, and morning line's 3-1.
Yeah, I should probably do some conditional formatting so it just makes the odds what they look like at the track. It's something I got to do. I just haven't had the time to do it. It's because it's more cosmetic than it is anything else. So you like John G, and Super Gremlin in race 2. You got your favorite jockey on there. So let's see who that favorite jockey is. That favorite jockey is Irad Ortiz. Well, he's a good one to be a favorite of. He's been in, I think, almost 30% down there in Gulfstream Park. So he's made a lot of folks a lot of money this meet. In race 3, the race shape has interesting race shape in here because the 5 horse does have early speed. It is the lone E. Everybody's always looking for those E's. Everybody else wants to be middle or back. And heck, this 6 horse, which also shows some speed, though when they get to the finish line, it's never been close. So that 6 is like the 4 for me. If it beats me, it beats me. This 2 horse right here in the middle, though, Charles, should get an excellent trip. Does have the most late speed, best combination of early speed and late speed at a distance where sometimes the horses coming off the pace do a little bit better than those that are front running. Who is your top choice?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to how this race is going to lay out and proceed, I think the 2, I do like the 2. He won last time out. This horse is well-bred. This hot trainer, hot jockey the last 14 days. So kind of a lot of things going for this horse. The 3 is my second choice here. Drops in class today. Back on the all-weather track. Trainer gets 40% when he goes to turf to all-weather. Gets IRAD. So a lot of things for that 3. And then the 7 is my third choice here. This one does have some speed. Even though the chart only shows a 6% chance of having the lead at the quarter pole. But he was claimed last time out. The trainer gets 29% after a claim. He has the speed to sit in the catbird seat, I believe. And then the 1 horse is my price horse. This horse has got some of that tactical speed also. Claim last time out. Trainer gets 26% first after a claim. So it definitely fits in this group. Look at that, the comfort zone for the 1, 58% plus. So there you go.
I'd like the 7 horse. It's my first pick in here. Zen. It's the first off the claim, a 29% angle for the trainer, who normally wins at 11%. So you see that's almost 3 times as high a win rate. So got a good eye for horses it wants to claim. And in the last race, it carried its speed much deeper into the race. So I think you'll see that horse be close to the front and then try to capitalize at the end. The Spirit of Power, last race out, won. Its internals were better from the beginning to the middle of the end of the race. So a horse that could be better in its third start off a layoff. I'm not the biggest fan of horses that are coming out of maiden claiming races and then the next race to win. If they did not run the top last race speed figure, that did not happen for the 2-horse. That happened for the 3-horse. Chestnut Checkers, which is my second choice, did run the top last race speed figure, as I mentioned, is taking a big class drop here as well, and is one of the few horses in here that has some all-weather success. And then finally, Let Freedom Reign. That is the 4-horse, my fourth choice. 2 races on the all-weather track with a win and a place, so first and second. Is another one, Charles, that's going to try to capitalize on your favorite angle, the third start after a layoff. I am going to do a pick 6 here because we did mention that pick 6 is a almost 700. I think it's going to be over 700,000, maybe $750,000 today. I'm going to go 2 by 2 by 2 by 3 by 3 by 2. So 2, 7, 3, 6, 5, 6, 1, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, and the 4, 5. And I know last night Pete said he doesn't chase the payouts. I kind of take a little different approach in that respect. I think I like the hot dog things like that, Charles, put as little money as I can towards it and hope that today is my day. Another friend of the show who's been on the show, we met at Saratoga, Eddie Olchek, says that everybody should make a bet every day just in case you're walking around lucky and you didn't know it. I agree with that philosophy. Race 2, Super Gremlin. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Arturo. Race 4, the 3-horse. Race 6, the 6-horse. Race 7, the 1. Buena Suerte, Desade, Venezuela. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. My pronunciation in Spanish is just superb.
It is fantastic.
It is, man. I don't know. Race 4 is what's next for us. And then some Spanish lessons later on for me. 1 mile on the turf. It is claiming $35,000. Non-winners of 2 in the lifetime. Purse is $36,000. Again, I think it's a good exercise to see the kind of horses that win at that distance. Again, you find that there is not a running style bias. You can win from anywhere on the track. Once again, the post positions are mostly fair, but unlike the Tapeta, if you can get to the lead, you do have a 24% chance so far to go wire to wire. In race 4, our speed simulator says there are a few horses that got a shot to do that, mostly on the outside, Charles.
Yeah, the 9-horse has got a 32, a little over 32% chance of getting that lead at the quarter pole. And look at that 8 too. It's going to be a 30% chance of doing the same thing. So those two on charts says that they're going to be flying at each other. And I probably have to agree with that. And then when it comes to simulation odds, we have, the 3. What is that?
About 1 to 2 versus 8 to 5.
1 to 2. So 1 to 2 to 6 to 5 right now, morning line. And then the 7, slightly over 5 to 1. Morning line is 15 to 1. That's a nice overlay. And people, I want everyone else to look at this. Rich
Charles is hacking my computer again.
Oh, you've been in my computer again. Look at that. You can switch the numbers up a little bit.
I know.
It's okay.
So horses might switch up their running styles a little bit because nobody here has shown any early pace so far. Everybody's either wanted to pressure or come from off the back. A couple of our own creations here, something you only get at Horse Racing Radar TV, Horse Racing Today. A couple of closers that their early pace is going to move them forward. We call those left arrow horses. Those two should be forwardly placed, have enough late legs that if they're up front, and that's running their normal speed out of the gate, not putting any extra juice in it, they'll be forwardly placed. They'll be chasing that 9-horse most likely. Those 3 could be up front. If you're looking for the most late speed, that's going to go with the 3-horse, Charles. And you copied my picks identically, and you started with that 3 too.
Yeah, all you have to do is switch things at least one spot. I mean, that's all you have to do. Well, the 3, I'll just talk for both of us. The 3 is our top choice here. Ran second last 2 times. Trainer gets 19% overall. He has that tactical speed, like you said, that this horse has better on the closing side of it. So he's going to be very dangerous. And then the 6-horse is my second choice. More of the tactical speed that has a little bit more on the closing side of it. Trainer gets 19% first after a claim. You get Irad on this horse, so this makes the 6 pretty dangerous. And then the 5 horse is my third choice. Ran third last time out. Trainer gets 21% first after a claim. They add the blinkers today. And plus, that trainer also gets 14% when they're 46 plus days off. And then my price horse will be the 1. Horse ran third last time, third start after a layoff here. Fits with these horses, and that's why I'm starting with my pick 5, my late pick 5, I should say, with all 4 horses in this race. And then the second leg, I'm going with my top 3 picks. The third leg, I'm going with my top 4 picks, and then I have a single in that fourth leg of it. And then the fifth leg, I have my top 2 picks.
Interestingly, coming up at Gulfstream, that 2 horse is actually 7-5. Odds went up a little bit. A lot of the folks at Gulfstream Park have their 1 horse as their pick in there. Samantha Perry, the DRF form, and Brian Nadeau. Although Claudia Spadaro, our good friend, she likes the 2 horse there. So interesting to see that. The favorite jockey over there might do us in on that 7-5. Charles, again, it was those maiden claiming 12-5s. You never know.
Yeah, maiden
what'll happen.
12-5s, I don't trust.
Yeah, and if anyone beats it, I hope it's the 3. I got the 3 horse here, built different, ran the top last race speed figure with some major late race improvement last time out. Usually a indication of a horse that is getting into form. 6, Zissit, also showed more enthusiasm late last time out. That resulted in 2 consecutive speed figures on the rise. Going to flip the IRAD today. That can't do anything but help. Does have a decent maintenance workout in between races to keep the horse sharp. Number 5, my third pick, and Charles's plagiarized third pick, Into Touring. Not sure if it means anything, but Tyler Gaffleone stays here, gets off of the 1 horse, and this horse has been on the Gulfstream grass twice, finished third twice. So what the hell? We'll put him in third where he goes. Number 1, Mint Edition, the one that Tyler Gaffleone got off of, did run a big bump in its speed figure last time out. But when I look back at previous bumps in the speed figures, there was some regression in the following race. That regression shouldn't be too much to prevent it from competing for the backside of the gimmicks. I'm going to do a 50-cent try here, 3-6 with the 3-5-6, with the 1, 3, 5, 6, and 9 for race number 4. Race 5 is next on our things to do today, on our checklist of things to do today, Charles. Race number 5 is 6 furlongs. It's a good race. An allowance, 54,000. Non-winners 1. The purse is 54 grand for state bred 3-year-olds. Again, at 6 furlongs, you're going to find that speed is the most convenient way to the winner's circle. 36% of the time, the horse that has the lead at the quarter pole also has a trip into the winner's circle. There is a small inside 3 bias for an outplay fair, so post positions are not going to make or break your horse's chances. Again, Charles, speed is a very important part here, and that 3-horse bouncer has a 50% chance to be the one that can go wire to wire 36% of the time.
Yeah, this is that 3 horse is definitely going to be a scary horse in this race. 50%, but you have a lot of other horses in there that has that 12 or 13%, chance of having that lead at the quarter pole. So you got 4 other horses out of, a 6-horse field that's going to be pushing that 3 a little bit. So with that being said, let's look at the simulation odds. It looks like just the 5, I guess, even money to 2.5 to 1. So on the morning line. So there you go.
Yeah, and probably going to participate in the early speed there as well. It looks like all of them except the 6 are going to have a shot to be forwardly placed there and go wire to wire. I think we're going to see that play out here too in our way to the winner's circle worksheet. All but the 6 have similar early speed. So, just like the simulator shows, it's a good chance that 5 of the 6 horses are going to be lined up at the quarter-mile marker. 3 does have that left arrow designation, but the 6 horse has a pretty good late pace advantage over the rest of these. So I can see these 5 going out like this in a line, and then the 6 sitting right here, picking them off one by one as they head to the finish line and their legs get tired from going too fast. Charles, that's kind of how I see the race playing out. You see the speed staying up there and closing the deal.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like you're on my computer now. You finally got wise and switched a couple things around. But the 4 here is my top choice. Has speed. Does at least keep up with that 3 at least. Ran second last time out. Tyler stays on. So there's a lot of pluses to this horse. The 3 is my second choice. Definitely a dangerous horse here. Ran third last time out. This, but it's his first time being gelded and first time LASIK. So angry, but
Gonna run angry, and he wants to make sure he doesn't lose anything else after this race.
I don't want to lose anything.
No,
And,
I've lost enough.
and then the 5 horse is my third choice here. One last time out back on dirt. The 5 also has some of that tactical speed to sit real close to that 3. And then the 6 horse is my price horse. If you want to call 3-1 a price horse,
you do. I don't.
Well, yeah. This is his second start after a layoff. The trainer gets 31% second start after a layoff, so he kind of likes that angle himself. So I think this is a wide open race. But anyway, those are my choices.
I have that 6 horse. Cozy Heiress is my top selection in there. Ran the best speed figure last time out for this group. Does have that major late pace edge in there, and should have plenty of pace to chase down. As you see here, all these other horses are going to go fast, and this guy gets the second best comfort zone. So he's going to be right in his wheelhouse. Question is, can he close the deal? Rock and Roller. This horse is the 5 horse, a win or bust type at Gulfstream Park. Raced there 4 times on the dirt, won 2 of them. The one thing that concerns me a bit about the 5 horse's chances, he usually finds trouble somehow in the course of a race. But so far, he's shown with those 2 wins the ability to make up for mistakes. So that horse gets a clean trip. It might be next to impossible to beat. Bouncer is that left arrow horse that should be part of the early pace here. When he's won, he's done so closing. So he'll be in contention right from the jump today. And as you mentioned, Charles, a couple of firsts in there with the gelded and the LASIK. So should breathe better. As Andy Biancone might say, might be more comfortable today. And finally, number 4, Roll On Big Joe. Your top pick is my 4th selection here. Did run some really good fractions last time out at 7 furlongs and cuts back to 6 furlongs, Charles. And I know you like that when you see a horse sprint out, maybe fade at the 6-mile marker in a 7 furlong or route race, and then cut back to a sprint. I know that's one of your favorite things to look for.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I like it when they go basically 6.5 or 7.5 when they cut back to those distances. Once they go to 5.5, that's not truer speed. I mean, that's just route speed compared to sprint speed. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like it.
In terms of, I'm going to do a pick 4 here with the 5-6. I'm going to try to beat them favorites in there with the 1-5-7, with the 1-3, with the 4 and 5. Did I miss a horse in there? I think I missed a horse on the back end. I think there's supposed to be one more back there, but I'm not 100% sure. Race number 6 is next. I must not have meant to put one in there, but I think I calculated that out I think I calculated out one more for my $100 budget, so I wouldn't upset the principal, Mr. Terry, and his ruler. My knuckles are sore from how many times he's cracked me over. You're over budget by $1.50. He's like, what was it? Miss Apple Tree or Crab Apple, right? Wasn't that always the teacher's name in like the in what was it called? Those little guys, Spanky and I forget. Little Rascals. Little Rascals. Yes. My old timers is kicking in. Race 6 is 5.5 furlongs on the all-weather, claiming 20,000. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. The purse is 28 grand. This short sprint on the synthetic does have a little bit of a speed bias. Tactical speed is probably better than just straight up speed, although 26% do go wire to wire. There is an outside to inside bias. So the farther you are away from the rail, the higher the winning percentages go, which is kind of interesting considering looks like they start and turn right away. Usually you would think the inside would get a little bit of an edge there, but it's inverted. As far as our simulator for race number 6, in terms of what you can expect for early speed, it does look like the 3 horse, Bahamian Captain, and Grand Valley, the 5, will be duking it out when the gates open.
Yeah, the 5's got basically a 44% chance of having that lead at the quarter pole, and you got that 3 is going to be challenging that horse all the way around for about 38% chance at the quarter pole. I believe the 5 will have that lead overall, and the simulation odds it looks like the 4, slightly over even money, and you got 8-1 morning line. That's a nice overlay, and that's about it when it comes to overlays in the race.
As far as the shape for this race for 6, they got the 8-horse scratching out, which I think is a significant scratch, because now that makes the 3 the lone E-horse in terms of its recency bias, the one that wants to be on the lead in order to find the winner's circle. The 1 is a pressure type. It's going to give chase, as are these 2 closers back here. Again, left arrow horses. You see here, all but the 3, the 8, and the 5 have similar late pace numbers. So I think you can get some giddy up and go. Horse that could be sitting in the catbird seat in terms of its preferred trip is that 6 horse. It is a pressure closer type. Most versatile horse probably in the field. Charles can go anywhere and probably still have a shot to win. Do either of us have him in our picks? I have him in the 4th. You don't got him at all.
No. Well, my top choice is the 5 here. This horse ran 2nd last time out. As it shows, has the speed to go wire to wire or sit right off of someone else, most likely the 3. And the trainer gets 17% when they're 90 plus days off. So this horse is a fresh horse coming into this race. The 7 is my second choice here. Ran 2nd the last 2 times. Got some of that tactical speed to sit 3rd or 4th all the way around. Has been claimed the last 2 times, and the trainer gets 29% first after a claim. So that's a good angle for that horse. And the 1 horse is my 3rd choice here. This horse ran 2nd last time out. I believe he has some speed to push along the top 2 contenders. He was claimed last time. And then my price horse in this race, which is the 2, ran 3rd the last 2 times, claimed the last 2 times also. So it's a hot horse commodity there at the track. Tactical speed to keep up with these horses, at least. And so that's but I still think overall this race is kind of wide open. That's why I'm taking a pick 3. I'm taking all 4 of the horses. And I also did it on that late pick 5 too. I did all 4 of these horses. And then I'm singling in the next leg is my best bet of the day. And then the final leg is my top 3 picks.
I like the 5 horse Grand Valley as a left arrow horse. Again, no other place to find left arrow horses but here, Horse Racing Radar TV. It's been off since December, but this is the right distance for a return and some decent workouts. 2 times out at the short sprints and 1 win and 1 second. The 1 horse, Stealth 34, is a neck away from winning its last 2 races. Was bumped, but still had higher speed numbers in the last 2 races in a row, so upping it. The only question for me and why the 1 didn't probably get ranked any higher here is because it's the first trip around on the all-weather. So if it shows it can take to the surface, it certainly shows like it's going to get the best trip of the horses with that comfort zone score of 83%. Lunar Rocket, the 7 horse on the all-weather, one that's had a lot of success so far. 4 races, 100% in the money with a win, 2 seconds, and a third. Is the first off the claim, 29% winning angle for an 11% trainer, Edgar Baya. Again, I love to see trainers that have a alpha angle, I call them, where when they do something, it shows maybe it's their specialty. It looks like he's got an eye for horses that he can claim and then turn around and win the next time around out. Number 6, Mystic Lancelot, does have the top turf pedigree score by a pretty good margin for this field. And if it can translate, like a lot of people think it can, to all-weather, catching that lone PC spot could make that horse extremely dangerous. I have a 50-cent try with the 1, 5, and 7 over the 1, 5, over the 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I know they said it's just a couple of minutes to race number 2, but that's not the case. They're still walking around in the bull ring, even though it says minutes to post 0. They kill me down there in South Florida. I guess the folks down there, it's beautiful out. Why be in a rush, right? Take advantage of the wonderful weather.
Yeah, I think they just lose track of time.
Yeah, I think they probably do.
All right.
I can't say that I blame them for that. Right here in Chicago, we got
good.
crazy weather. Leonardo says race number 2, he likes the 8 horse. I'm going a little bit long there. Race number 3, the 7, the 1, and the 4. 7 and 1. Race number 4, he likes the 5 and the 3. Race 5, he likes the 5 and 4. Race 6, likes the 5 and the 7. Race 7 looks like he likes the 1 horse. He's got a dollar sign, I guess. Maybe that's the best bet of the day, maybe. Along with the 8, race 8, he likes the 5 and the 8. And indeed, Leonardo, we all hope to have a happy day today. And then we have some picks here as well. We went through these picks already, right? Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in race number 7, Mr. Charles, they're going to run 6 furlongs. We did this one already or not? Did we do this one?
No, we're on 7.
All right, race 7. It is an allowance 50. That's right, because we did allowance 54,000 already. Won.
Yeah.
Purse for 54 grand. They're going to run 6 furlongs. Again, horses that go fast usually do better than the ones that don't go as fast. You get 26% going wire to wire. There is a little bit of an inside 3 bias, but doesn't make that big of a deal. You got a horse named after Charlie over here, Charlie's Wish. It's going to be Charles's best bet. Got a couple scratches. The Misses and Dream Concert coming out. So you got a horse that's 2-1 morning line with simulated odds that look like they should be closer to 2-5.
Yeah. When it comes to who's going to have the lead at the quarter pole, well, the 3's chances just went up from 25%. So because of that 7 being scratched out of this race. So I would put it definitely, probably double that, at least 50%. You got a couple other horses that might going to have to move up a little bit, the 5 and the 1 themselves. But when it comes to simulation odds, the 1 right now is overlaid. But let's put it this way. With those 2 scratches, this horse is going to be lucky. We'll be lucky to get 4 to 5. I think we'll be extremely lucky. And then
I would say based upon the simulated odds, I'd be surprised if it's not like 2 to 5 or something like that, especially with those, because the other 2 favorites scratched out. So that horse is going to catch all that money.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be lucky, I think, but it is my best bet of the day. And that's about it. No other overlays, really.
Yeah, well, there are no other overlays. So you do got the 6 and the 7 bailing out of this race. That means the 3 horse could be a lone E type. So maybe a chance to get to the front and steal this one. So if you're looking for a horse that might have an in-race advantage, it could be that one. Another one might be the 1 horse in here as that PC type that's a little bit versatile. That's the one that's Charles's best bet of the day. So I think one of these 2 horses has an in-race advantage over the rest. The question is, can some of the other ones find a way to maybe get by either one of them? You've already said Charles's Wish because, well, let's face it, Charles, you handicapped this one by name alone.
Well, yeah, once I saw that, I just, closed the book on it, basically. I said, there's the winner. I mean, why not? But no, the 1 is definitely my best bet of the day. Drops in class today, cuts back in distance. Got that, like I said, he has that tactical speed. So, and you got Paco aboard, which I think is a huge plus on this horse.
Because he won't let you pass him in the lane, baby.
No, he will not. And he might even scream at the jockey when they come by him. And then the 3 horse is my second choice, which is probably the main speed of the race. 1 last time out, second time Lasix user, which I do believe is the best angle for Lasix. And then you got Tyler that stays on this horse. The 4 horse is my third choice here. Ran second last time out. Tactical speed, trainer gets 18% overall. And then the 5 horse is my price horse. 1 last time out. Well bet last time out. Fits with these horses. But I do not see that horse doing much better than some of the exotics overall.
So Sean Prince says his lock of the day is Flatter Me and Sistren. Can you tell us what races those horses are in?
Well, Sistren's in this race.
Sistren. Okay, that's the 4 horse in here. That's that down there. And then Flatter Me. What race did we talk about Flatter Me yet? Do you remember that horse, Charles?
I don't. Well,
we'll look
it's in race 6.
Race 6, Flatter Me. All right, there you go. That is the 4 horse. So a pair of 4s. It's going to go 4-4. Do you split 4-4s, Charles, or do you play them and hope you get a 3?
No, I play them and hope I get a 3.
Yeah, I don't split them either. All right, so let's take a look at. Did you run through your picks already, Charles?
Yeah,
you did, right?
I did.
I like Charlie's Wish as well. It's dropping from a pair of non-graded stakes, but those were at Tampa Bay Downs. Did have a run at Gulfstream Park 3 times. Has a win, a place in the show. Does have a couple of nice workouts getting ready. Sometimes that Tampa Bay form, though, much like Penn to Parks, doesn't always translate. But with the scratches, this horse does become the the top horse in the race. Number 3, Buck and Beauty, is the second choice, as Charles tried to make it look good by switching the 4 and the 5 in the back of his. It did show better pace numbers through the first quarter of a mile and half mile last time out. And it's had some issues in both of those races. So if it can get a clean break for the first time in here, I think the horse will do well. It does benefit from the 7 scratching, which is the other speed horse. I think the 3 is going to be up on the lead. If it get comfortable fractions, has a good chance to add to that 36% winner to winner, wire to wire. Number 5, Turn on the Charm, is making its first race for trainer Claudio Gonzalez after being claimed. Cutting back in the distance, I think, helps here, Charles. And Claudio Gonzalez making the second start off the claim is a 28% for Mr. Gonzalez. Then I like the Sister in 2 as my final choice in here. Going to get a good trip. One of the only other horses in here that doesn't have 99 to 1 odds, according to our simulator. So it should get a good race as well. I'm going to do a $1 double. I should probably just take the 1 out and hope that the 3 beats it, Charles. You know what? I'm going to do that because the one's going to go off at, like I said, probably 1 to 2. I'm looking for kind of a backdoor. I'll save a few bucks. I only lose 3, not that big of a deal. It's worth the risk to reward ratio for me. So I'm going to go $1 double, 3 with the 4, 5, and 8. Make a note of that, Terry, so that I don't end up paying more than I actually do. Race 8. Looks like we're going to have time to get through race 8 because, they're walking up to the gates right now, Charles. So let's see what race number 2 does. In race 2, again, that 2 horse does look like there still could be some value in that 2 because he is going to look like
4 to 5. I wish
4 to 5. Yeah, that's what you were hoping for. That's what we might indeed get. Are they in the front or the back of the gates?
I can't tell.
I think they haven't circled to the back yet.
I can't tell. I think
I don't think they have circled to the back of the gates yet. They're just kind of walking along the sides there. So Charles is going to do a $10 exacta ice cold in race 2 with the 2. And then the 8, the 2 horses, the 4 to 5 favorite. The 8 is your second choice, which is catching 3 to 1 odds. I'm going to do a pick 4. I'm going to single up that 2. My 3 horse, and there's my long shot in this race. That one is Den Street, 20 to 1 morning line odds, 20 to 1 right now. So it looks like our friend Peter Aiello set the line right for that guy. Looking at the C zone, it does look like Shatin, the 8 horse, Charles' second choice there, my third, should get the best trip in terms of what it's liked in its best effort so far. As far as the longest shot on the board, if you want to play that one, that number goes to the 7 horse, which right now is 52 to 1, Charles. Did you ever play? Let me ask you a question. When you were a kid, were you the one that was in charge of 52 pickup or the one that had to do all the picking up?
Well, I was in charge of doing it because once I did it one time, I never got on that one again.
Yeah, I was the oldest brother, so my poor brother and sister, whenever we did that. Well, the 7 horse at 52 to 1 jumped straight up in the air, so I don't know that he's going to really have a shot here as the race goes on. But yeah, jockey is rushing him up. The 1 horse looks like Super Gremlin on Irad. Actually, it looks to me like the 2 horse. Well, the 1 is going to have the lead. Well, the 1 and the 2. Oh, is that the 8 horse out there? No, that's the 8 horse. Yes, indeed. Shatin and Super Gremlin towards the front. And we didn't have Shatin as one of the early pace setters, but we did have Super Gremlin up there. The 2 horse looks like it's going to follow behind the 1 horse. So Bobby's Candy, that 4 to 5. Some late money came in on Shatin, got bet down all the way to 5 to 2, Charles. They come through the opening quarter in a slow 25 and 35 seconds. The 4. So right now you have the 1, the 8, the 2, and the 4. Got a good separation to them, to the 7 horse, which is next in there. The 4 horse, unfortunately, looks like they're a little bit out on tactical force. Jockey's asking for something out of him already. They got a good hold on the 8 and on the 1 so far. The 2 has not really been asked to go yet either with Jose. See if Jose has Jose is the first to move on that. Yeah. So I think the 8 horse is probably going to be your winner here, maybe Charles, because he hasn't been asked to go. The 1 horse is going to fade. Jose can't get the horse to run where he wants to run.
That rail. Look at that move.
Yeah. So the 8 horse can the 2 catch. I don't think 2's catching him, Charles. The 8 horse is going to beat him. It's going to go 8, 2, And then I don't know what that move was right there. 8-2 and then 4. 8-2 and 4.
He just jerked the horse over to the rail. He was going
Yeah,
on the outside, and
I don't know what that was about because it looked like he was getting some momentum, but you could tell because he hadn't asked the 8 horse for anything
maybe
yet.
he saw the 8 starting to drift out a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. And then that's why he made that kind of move. That was a very drastic move, though.
Yeah, I don't know what that was
It
about
wasn't
right there.
gradual at all.
Mm-mm. I don't know if his horse was going to duck in or what, but he certainly made a big move there. And then the 8 comes back down on him again. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing about those maiden claimers, right? They're the 8 horse was the one projected to get the best trip, did get the best trip, and then brought it home. I think the 2 horse not breaking to the lead probably hurt its chances too. So that's where it needed to be.
Mhm.
All right, Charles. Well, 0 for 2, my man. In terms of having the top pick, you had the 2 in order. Your ice cold was upside down though.
Upside down.
Next race is the final race of the day, race 8. We do get a bunch of scratches, a trio of scratches in the 8th. This one, 7.5 furlongs on the turf, which has an absolute flavor for stalkers and closers. Although 17% still managed to go wire to wire. There is a very strong inside 3 bias. There's a 4 and out. You do get a little bit of a penalty, Charles. Again, 3 horses are going to scratch out. So that inside bias now goes to the 3, the 4, and the 5. And the speed is going to be streaking gray. And once again, Charles, well, a little bit different. Go ahead.
Yeah, the 3 is going to benefit from basically the 7 being scratched, and so will the 9 a little bit too. So the 3 has got a 38%. Probably you could add at least another 10 to 15% to that, and the 9 will get the rest of that. Get at 25% of having the lead at the quarter pole. So I think those 2 will be at each other all the way around. When you got the simulation odds, we have the 4 horse here, slightly over 2.5 to 1. You got 4.5 on morning line. Nice little overlay there. And then the 8 horse, slightly over 2 to 1. You got 3 to 1 morning line is the other one.
Final time today, we're going to look at the weight of the winner's circle. You got the 7 scratching out, the 2 scratching out, the 1 scratching out. I think the 7 and the 2 scratching out, the biggest beneficiary of that is going to be the 3 horse. He should be able to get the lead all by itself. The question is, will it be able to be one of those 14% that go wire to wire? The 9 might keep him company, but none really have shown recency of being to the lead. So I think the 3. It's too bad we can't bet who's going to be the leader at the quarter mile marker. So that would probably be the 3. The 6 horse does have a pretty strong late pace advantage over everybody else. Although with the way this race is shaping up now with the scratches, there has to be concern that the pace might not be as fast as it would have been minus the scratches, Charles.
Right. But I still ended up with the 5 horse here. Ran second last 2 times. This is his second start after a layoff, and this horse does cut back in distance and does get IRAD. So to finish off the day here, and the horse does have some speed to keep up with them at least. And then the 8 horse is my second choice here. The horse has got that tactical speed to sit 3rd or 4th all the way around, and the trainer gets 19% first after a claim. Adds the blinkers today, plus if this horse cuts back in distance. And then the 6 horse is my third choice. Has speed, cuts back, trainer gets 22%. And at 12 to 1, that's not a bad horse to have on your ticket. And then the 3 horse is my final pick, and my price horse here. Has the speed like we talked about. I think this horse could hang on for a little bit here. Cuts back in distance, fits with these type of horses, so why not?
For the final race, I agree, Charles. Lenekea Storm is the top pick for me. Does look like it's properly priced. Going to get a great trip. Maybe the 8 horse will get a little bit of a more comfortable, according to Z-Zone. Did run the best speed figure last time out after improving its pace numbers all throughout the race. And the resume suggests this guy will step it up in the second start after a layoff. Number 4. Linny Kate does have that strong late pace advantage over everybody else in this field. It's been on the grass 5 times at Gulfstream Park with a win a couple of seconds and a third, 80% of the time in the trifecta. The 8 horse, Spectacular Girl, first off the claim for trainer Bobby DeBona. Since Mr. DeBona has, or Bobby DeBona has picked up this horse, has a really strong workout, and the all-weather is probably the right surface because that's where its wins have come. This one's on turf. One of the reasons why I downgraded this horse, its best numbers have definitely been in the synthetic. And then that 6-horse Brittitz, one of the 2 races that this horse has won in its career come in its first race after a layoff. That was 1 mile on the Gulfstream grass. We're only going to go 7.5 today. 3 workouts in between races getting prepped for today. We're good workouts. Back to the 50-cent try, 4, 5, 8 with the 4, 5, with the 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9, Mr. Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And that wraps up all of our picks for today. Here you can see all of them for races 1 through 8. And the 8-horse won that last leg, and the opening leg, the 4-horse won, Charles. So got to pick it up in the remaining races, my friend.
Yes. I got
absolutely.
I have a pick 4 coming, and a pick 5, and a pick 3.
And again, there is that pick 6 carryover that's going to start in race number 3, the upcoming race. And it looks like that's a kind of wide open race right now. I did put together a pick 6. Here it is, 2-7 over the 3-6, over the 5-6, over the 1-5-7, over the 1-3-5, and over the 4-5. Hopefully, I have the winner in one of those picks all the way across the board, and it pots the $679,000, Charles. Probably not going to happen.
Oh, no, it could happen.
It could. Tomorrow, you and I will be back. First time in a long time. We're going to go out to New York for Aqueduct. Friday, I will be back with Mr. Thomas. We're going to do Foreign Fridays and I remember the name of the track this morning and I forgot it again. So Tom and I will do Foreign Fridays. It's the first official opening day of the turf season out in Europe. And I can't believe I can't remember the name of the track, so forgive me. Saturday, Charles, myself, and Terry will get back together again as a trio. We'll walk through the highest carryover of the day. If it's a pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, whatever it might be, tell you which horses we like. We'll put together a hot dog ticket, so $20 and under. We'll put together a prime rib ticket for $100 and over. And then the 3 of us will hack out a ticket each where we all have a veto and we all have a lock. So we can toss out one of our friends' horses and we can lock one.
That was pretty interesting last week when I had to veto you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it didn't matter anyway because our 9-horse didn't come through on my lock, finished second at a price. And that wraps it up tonight. Again, make sure you join Jamie and Sean for the final Horse Center of the week. Should be another fantastic show. If you haven't done so already, kindly hit the like button here on YouTube. If you haven't done already, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So when we go live, you are notified no matter what we're talking about, picks or with personalities. And then, of course, follow us on all our social sites. Our Swiss Army Sean keeps everybody up to speed with all things happening in horse racing and beyond. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here today, Charles?
No. Basically, just our hearts go out and our prayers go out to everybody that lost a loved one in Nashville. And that's about it. Let's go out and get some winners.
Indeed, yeah. If you feel like you're going to go shoot up a school, how about calling a friend first? Sitting on it for 24 hours, maybe call a counselor or something. And then if you still feel like it, then turn yourself in, right? Get the help that you need, unquestionably. Well, hopefully that today, of course, we hope that God's favor and grace shines upon everybody today, no matter what it is you're doing. If you're slacking off at work, trying to make some extra money at the races, or if you're at the races, no matter what it is you're doing. Oh, we hope that you have a fantastic day. Again, college basketball getting started up again this weekend with the Final Four. Our good friend, the professor, Major League Baseball is going to start. Great at baseball with his statistics as well. Link in the description down below. No matter what it is you're doing, Charles, today, until we get back together again, we hope that it ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us again. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow as we go after Aqueduct. Have a fantastic hump day.
See ya.